Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on Pokemon 3 the movie, or as it's known as, Spell of the Unknown. Now, as you know, Spell of the Unknown, or Pokemon 3 the movie, is meant to be a 2000 Japanese anime film that was directed by Kiko Yamama, as well as being the third film in the Pokemon series. And there were also different drafts to what there was going to be, one of which was meant to have a different plot with a discovery of a dinosaur fossil that would have been brought back to life that didn't go anywhere. And of course, there were meant to be some different ideas from what there was going to be. And of course, we eventually got the one by Takashi Shudo, who wanted to make the film as a kind of story and kind of centerpiece to his daughter, as it was kind of more like what he wanted to give as he was becoming a parent. Now, the premise of the film is meant to be at the town of Greenfield, where after a research scientist known as Professor Spencer Hale ends up disappearing after doing some research on the unknown with his assistant Skylar, his daughter Molly discovers the box and kind of puts all the pieces together, which unintentionally releases the unknown, and of course brings the Pokemon that her father talked about, Entei, to life. Now, it's not really clearly stated, but it's implied that the Pokemon Entei in this film is meant to be her father, but made into a Pokemon. And of course, you can tell that Entei does try to be a friend and a mentor to Molly. And of course, we do see how Ash, Misty, Brock, and a trainer they befriend called Lisa find out more about what's going on, and of course go in an all-out mission to stop him. I mean her, and Entei. Now, the film, I would say, is a little boring, dull, and really doesn't really know what it wants to do with a story. I feel with 74 minutes, it feels like they had to throw everything in and rush things too quickly. And I think there are moments where they can be serious. Like, you can kind of tell Ash's mum does worry about Molly as well as Ash, and you can tell Molly wants to live in her own make-believe world, and when she does battle Misty and Brock, it's clear that her dreamed-up Pokemon are more tougher than the real things, giving her an unfair advantage. But you can tell Misty and Brock respect Molly and do see her potential. And I feel like with the unknown being made as a 3D, imagery does work, as it gives this otherworldly appearance. And what's actually interesting in Professor Spencer's book, you do see some other unknown legendaries, like one that's meant to be a floating sun, a fairy riding on Entei, and so on. And it's like what he said, artists had guesses on what these Pokemon would have been like. And I would say the movie's message about wanting the perfect family kind of works, but I can kind of see why Takashi Shudo retired from acting, as you can kind of tell that the person who was making the film misunderstood the point behind the screenplay. And he did say, had his own mother been alive, and had he been in Molly's shoes, he never would have abducted another person's mother. Personally, what could have worked for the film is have it that Professor Spencer Hale discovers the unknown and wants to kind of recreate Molly's mum and create this perfect family and this perfect town. You even could have had it that Ash, Misty, and Brock try and stop him, and having Ash kind of sympathise what it's like not to have a father, and could have had Spencer realising his mistakes. But no, it just becomes a really quick and kind of boring film. And I feel Team Rocket's role in this is extremely minor because they don't play any real crucial part. We don't see them do so much. And I feel Lisa could have worked had she been a traveler and heard about Ash's adventures and been this obsessed fan. But no, she's just thrown into the sidelines like some of the other characters I've seen in other films. And I feel there was a lot of potential, and I can kind of understand why Takashi wanted to retire from making Pokemon movies, as you can tell this wasn't what he intended. And I feel there was a lot of potential, but there is some moments where the film can take itself serious and knows that they aren't really trying to make the film too bad. But in my opinion, it's a wasted potential. So I think it deserves a thumbs down. Not interesting, not great, and not good. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.